Hi, everybody. I'm Jeremiah Karpowitz here at DTECH 2026 over in the broadcast space, and I am thrilled to be joined by Jackie Peer. Jackie, how are you?
I'm doing great.
So you're with SEL, and your CEO, David Whitehead, gave one of the keynote presentations at the event here. Can you talk a little bit about some of the insights that he shared with the audience?
Absolutely. It was kind of fun to see Dave get up and look a little bit under the hood at SEL. So he talked about some of the history of innovation that goes with our company, and some of that you actually see here on the show floor. So, for example, going back into the early 1900s, his grandfather was one of the co-founders of S&C Electric, as an example. So an innovator back in the early 1900s. And then his father, again, another innovator, and then Ed Schweitzer, the innovator himself, Ed Schweitzer the third, I should say. He invented the first microprocessor-based relay, and that was the start of Schweitzer Engineering a little over 40 years ago.
You know, one of the striking things to me from his keynote presentation was when he mentioned that he wishes he was 30 years younger and had kind of the next 30 years to really dig into the tech and the innovation. You know, what does that say to you in terms of the opportunity that's in front of the individuals in this industry, much less the industry as a whole?
Yeah, it's interesting because his sentiments are shared by a lot of engineers that are like myself and Dave that are later in our careers. We talk about how fast the industry is changing and how fun it would be to be a startup, new engineer fresh out of school. So, we are very optimistic about the next generation workforce. They're not going to be bored whatsoever. They're going to have plenty of fun things to work on, create, and innovate. But yeah, I shared Dave's sentiments in that because, when I first started the industry, which was shortly after, Dave started, things were moving very slow, conservative, moving industry.
Yeah. And, innovation was obviously a key focus of that presentation.
Mm-hmm.
How is that being reflected both in the technology you guys have on display at the booth, but then also in the conversations that you've had at the event here?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. And if you were lucky enough to see that, presentation, you would have saw a wall of patents that we have in one of our engineering buildings on our campus in Pullman, Washington. That was only a subset of all the patents that our company has. Those translate into new products and inventions. We have a number of new features, new products that we've had on display down in our booth. We've had the new blue frame technology. We've had the new 651R RD, which is a collaboration with S&C Electric. So, those are just a couple examples of some of the new products and solutions that we're offering down in our booth.
And ultimately, it's a question of, do any of these products and these innovations, is it about enabling utilities to work in more efficient ways or opening up new opportunities for them, or is it kind of both? Does it depend?
I think it's both and it can depend. But if you think about blue frame, something you've been hearing in the industry quite a bit over the years is there's so much data. We have so many digital devices that are out in the field. There's so much data, but how do you turn that into information that you can act on? Blue frame is a wonderful tool. It's an OT technology. Basically, it's like an operating system, and then there are blue frame compatible applications that reside on the blue frame. So any of those and all of those applications are intended to help make the lives easier of those utility workers that have the responsibility of taking care of these thousands of devices that they have on their systems.
Well, and turning data into answers like that's really what it comes down to. But there's no one way to do that, much less what that looks like for one utility might be very different from another utility.
Yeah.
So, is there anything utilities can do to better arm themselves with info, or what can they do to have better conversations with their vendors, with folks like you, around what that process looks like for them?
Yeah, and I love that the history of SEL and a lot of the products that we have come from the conversations that we've had with our customers, talking about their challenges, and that always translates into new opportunities to develop products. Some of the products that we have are direct results of conversations and then collaboration and partnerships with those customers. We're very much, the culture of our company is very much to be close to our customers and to be in close contact with our customers. So those types of ideas come very organically to our company.
Well, even what you just mentioned, I mean, we talked about some of those specific products and that innovation. Like, it's not innovation for innovation's sake, but innovation that solves a problem based on the conversations that you've had.
Absolutely.
Anything that you're looking forward to seeing come together coming out of this event, or what are you looking forward to seeing take shape the rest of this year?
Well, we have a lot of leads that we need to follow up on from the conversations that we've had in our booth. We very much enjoy DTECH because, it's an awesome opportunity for so many customers to come visit you all at, the same week. So we've had many meetings that have been in our meeting space, in our booth, and then presentations and a lot of fallout conversations from those. So just leaving here, we have the follow-up to make sure that we answer those questions and, we get back to the customers on topics at hand. The rest of the year, we've kind of opened the hood and looked a little bit into some of the new products and enhancements that will be coming out. And we're going to work really hard in R&D to get those delivered, on the time scale, whether it be third quarter or fourth quarter this year. So yeah, we're really hunkered down and focused on offering new products to our industry.
Excellent. And last question, best place that people can go to learn more about SEL and even about some of the products that we just talked about?
You can always call us up. You'll always get a person that answers the phone. It's not going to be an AI agent, but you can go to our website, selinc.com, and learn more about the company, products, services, so forth.
A human being answering the phone. That is a welcome thought in 2026, isn't it?
Yes.
Jackie, thanks so much for taking the time to talk with us.
You bet. It's been my pleasure. Thank you, Jeremiah.